All right, so here's the former UFC welterweight champion. They also call him the Chosen One, Tyron Woodley. Knocked out Robbie Lawler in 2016 to first win the belt, held it for several years, and still has the credentials as one of the best 170-pound fighters on this roster.
A-plus athlete is Tyron Woodley. A guy that can explode into his strikes and into his takedowns like no one we've ever seen before. The way that he backpedaled and then knocked out Jay Heron was unbelievable. The way that he just flatlined Josh Koscheck was crazy. He has a right hand that you do not want to be on the receiving end of. Tyron Woodley is truly a special, special fighter.
He has had some issues injury-wise with that right hand. He told us before the fight, 100% coming in tonight.
When you punch that hard, John,
right,
you're going to have some problems with the right hand.
I cannot speak to that, but I will take your word for it.
John's got power.
A little power. All right, so here's the legend, George St-Pierre, former UFC welterweight champion, former UFC middleweight champion, and DC as one of the most decorated wrestlers on this UFC roster. You got to be pretty amazed at what this man has been able to accomplish without any amateur wrestling credentials to speak of.
Yeah, with no background, the guys that he's been in there with and controlled the wrestling exchanges has truly been unbelievable to watch. I was in Canada when he fought Josh Koscheck, and he took Josh Koscheck, who's an NCAA champion, down whenever he needed to.
Right.
But it was also the striking that made him so dangerous. I remember George St-Pierre had this combination. It was a lead jab, a lead Superman jab, and then a leg kick. Everyone wanted to try and do it, and they say imitation is the greatest form of getting a compliment. We all tried to be George St-Pierre.
And he's got more SPs than you.
He does. He's a man.
Our tale of the tape for this welterweight championship fight. Now for the introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC welterweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, presenting the challenger, Tyron, the Chosen One, Woodley. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the reigning, defending UFC welterweight champion of the world, George Rush St-Pierre.
One of the best in the business, Herb Dean, is our referee tonight. All right, so here we go as the hype gives way to the action. Round 1, George St-Pierre, Tyron Woodley. Both men have been at the top of the sport, but Woodley feels like this is the guy he's got to beat to truly stamp his legacy.
Yes, and if he can get a victory over George St-Pierre, now you're solely in the conversation for the greatest welterweight of all time. Can Tyron get the right hand off and get past the defense and the sometimes cautious approach when threatened by George St-Pierre? He's digging his entire weight into those punches to the body.
Now he gets a more dominant position with the underhook.
He is going to start to drive knees over and over. You got to be careful here. You got to move. Oh, nice right hand by the champ. Yeah.
Oh, stuffs the takedown without issue.
Oh, high elbow guillotine.
Oh, that killing is tough. Oh, how good is that as he gets out?
That is great submission defense, keeping everything short and not allowing his opponent to get the submission victory. Getting him out here. Great submission defense. This is where he wants to be.
Well, he continues to manhandle him here on the ground.
Big ground and pound.
All right, side control now. Well, the ground and pound is there once again. Strong work here by George St-Pierre.
These are big shots, and they're not glancing blows. When he's throwing, he is landing so clean that his head is thudding off the mat.
Well, it looks as though that strike maybe opened up a cut around the eye area.
Yeah, it looks like that strike opened up a cut, John, but it's nothing to worry about now, but he's got to start to protect it.
Well, as usual, suffocating work from the top here by St-Pierre.
Another strike gets through from the top position. Nice transition.
All right, so now we start to see some bruising appearing on the torso, and all of that courtesy of the body work of his opponent.
Just the wherewithal to go to the body and the discipline to stay with that approach. I mean, it's just tremendous. You see a fighter with a high fight IQ following the game plan, and it's working.
3 minutes have elapsed here in round one. Oh, went to the switch kick there. Nice job by GSP. Starting to do some really significant damage to the body here. Another strike lands there. Pretty good jab there by George St-Pierre. Strong straight left there. There it is, another strike to the body. That has been a big storyline in this fight. We'll keep an eye on it as the bout continues.
You know, we'll keep an eye on it. But the person that should be addressing it is his opponent. His opponent isn't doing anything to deter him from doing this constantly. He has got to change something if he wants to fight this fight and win this fight.
Oh, Superman punch lands.
Look at him working at trying to shut the liver down.
Another kick to the body by St-Pierre. And just misses with that big right hand. Oh, he might be out.
Oh, right hand. Oh, nice body shot.
Oh, knee strike right to the midsection there.
Come on.
Nice crack there. 15 seconds.
Oh, big elbow.
Oh, roundhouse kick. Style points on that one.
Oh, great level change there.
St-Pierre's in half there.
In a very close round, a takedown like that might be the difference.
All right, take a seat, brother. Deep breath. Breathe. In through that nose, out through that mouth. All right, here's some water. Listen, your kicks are working on.
All right, let's look back at some of the action from that previous round, DC. How about just the efficiency when it comes to the ground and pound game?
He was able to throw at the right time, secure at the right time. He wasted no action. For me, this is the most exciting type of fight. A guy that is just dominating his opponent, really, truly putting the grind on his opponent from the top position.
Second round here. All right, here we go with our next round. And DC, you've spoken a lot about ground and pound skills and how it's a little bit of a lost art in modern day mixed martial arts. Certainly not for this young man.
No, and he does it the old school way, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, you push a guy to the side of the octagon, they use it as a barrier to get up.
Right.
Not with this guy. He stuffs your head in the corner, he gains his posture, and
Woodley's got his arm.
oh!
That guillotine is tight.
Good job by the champ there. Sliding back up.
Oh, and there it is. Was only a matter of time. That ground strike has cut him open. Well, he has expended a lot of energy going for these submissions tonight. I'm not sure his opponent is actually submittable.
No, it doesn't seem like it, because every time he goes for a submission, he gets close, or at least he expects to get close. But his opponent is so on his game that he's not giving him much to work with. This has been a beautiful display of grappling offensively, but also defensively.
He's in the mount.
Posturing up now.
And now the damage is about to start.
Woodley getting touched here repeatedly with these ground and pound strikes from the top. Referee's not going to bail you out. Well, we told you off the top of the broadcast he could do it all, but he's leaning on the striking tonight and continues to hit his opponent really with most of what he's thrown.
Well, he can't miss. I mean, it's like the guy's throwing a baseball at the side of a barn. Everything he throws, he lands, and he's showing that he can do it, and he can do it in abundance. The pace that this young man is fighting at is truly something special.
We'll see what he does here. He postures up and lands to the head. St-Pierre's right back to the full mount. Print the shirts, ground and pound. Well, now that cut in the eye area, Daniel, becoming a major storyline. He's got to be careful.
He's got to be very careful and address it right now before it gets to the point that there's nothing you can do about it. Nice.
All right, he's in a half-guard position here, DC, and in a good spot to dole out a lot of damage out.
A lot of damage can be done from the half guard. You sit back on that leg, you press down into your opponent, you drop elbows, you drop punches. What is very key is you controlling the underhook on the far side. If you give up that underhook, your opponent can use the half guard to build up to an elbow, sweep, or just chase down a single leg.
Well, working pretty effectively from the top here. Nice ground and pound by GSP.
And another strike from the top lands for him. Side control is pretty safe there.
Well, this is not football. Targeting is legal, and he is going at that cut, which is getting worse with every passing ground strike. Oh, these are some serious power punches from the top by George St-Pierre.
There it is. Now he's going to mount.
Oh, good defense, yes.
Don't allow him to hold you down. Keep moving, keep moving.
Under 90 seconds to go. Postures up and delivers a massive ground and pound punch to the head. Another ground and pound strike lands. And very effective with the ground and pound. Good work from the top here by GSP. Quick hip movement there, and he does indeed get back to his feet. Nicely done. Under a minute to go. Watch the referee right then and there has called a stop to the action. Looks like he's going to call on the doctor to look at the cut, and it is a pretty significant one, DC.
Well, he's bleeding a lot, and the blood is going into his eyes. It's very difficult for him to see right now.
Yeah, that's going to do it. Fans don't like it. An unfortunate ending to a great fight, but you had to do it.
He's disappointed, but I mean, he got beat up, lived to fight another day. I think the official saved him.
All right, we send it inside the octagon. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the doctor has called a stop to this fight, declaring the winner by TKO, and still the undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, George Rush St-Pierre. All right, so there he is, George St-Pierre, cracking a smile after another UFC win. He was certainly at his suffocating best here tonight, DC.
One of the most dominant champions the UFC has ever seen. He was the new breed before the new breed came into the octagon, a guy that could do every skill required to be a UFC champion.